G'day all, I'm back. I bet you didn't expect to see me so quickly. Well, I'm going to be doing my best to stick with this. Now, what we're going to discuss today is a follow-on to the video I made 3 days ago in regards to Thomas Toy distribution in Australia. And I wanted to follow it on because the comments that you guys left on that video, it's just blew my mind. I didn't expect to see some of the information that you guys provided me from your countries where you were from, and I also didn't realize how many of you were so dispersed all across the globe, which is so awesome to see that there's Thomas fans and Master of Tracks fans like that all across the globe, which is absolutely fantastic. So let's have a look at all the comments. I'm not gonna go over every comment. I'm just gonna go over a few that were interesting to me in regards to the country's sort of situation with Thomas Toys. Now, I will actually show a scroll of all the comments. You guys left a lot, and it was really awesome to see that after such a big hiatus that I had from the channel, and I really appreciate you all for that. So let's not waste any time, and we'll get into it and take a look at what your thoughts were. This one here, right off the bat, was left by DCC Rocks, and they've stated that they're a parent, and obviously you see the comment on the screen right now. They're a parent of a child who watches lots of Thomas videos, which is great to see that there's still 3-year-olds who love Thomas. That's awesome. The son loves All Engines Go. Yeah, that's fair enough. It's this generation's sort of version of Thomas, which understandable. I don't have any problems with that, of course. And sort of the perspective is, they're just saying, the perspective of a kid likes realism probably isn't going to matter, which is absolutely fair. There's probably not many kids who are going to care for realism, just as long as it's a train, you push it. That's all they're probably going to want. And they sort of stated as well, they used to work at Big W, which is funnily enough where I used to work for a little while in retail. And they're saying now that Thomas Toys has gotten very minimal, which has changed a little bit to a couple of years ago when I left Big W. Thomas still had quite a decent amount coming in. At that time, we still had the Thomas Trackmaster, like the Trackmaster Evolution style engines. We hadn't yet really gotten into the All Engines Go style Trackmaster, which seems like that's all there is now, and that's changed quite a considerable amount. And they're also saying that Paw Patrol is huge. So, other toys from other TV shows that are popular with kids are taking over that space, which was the case when I was at Big W. We had a much bigger Paw Patrol aisle than Thomas section of an aisle. So that's definitely changed. And it was just really nice to see a perspective from someone who hasn't seen the channel before. They said that they've only got this recommendation because their son watches Thomas videos. So really appreciate you reaching out, putting that comment. It's fantastic insight and makes a lot of sense straight up. The next one quickly I'll cover over is Dieselworks123. You all know who that is. So he's saying he's from New Zealand, which is awesome. New Zealand has the exact same problem. They get 3 restocks of Thomas a year, and most of the time it's older stock that no one wants, and it sits there for 6 months. So pretty much the same as here, from the sounds of it, which is surprising. I would have thought that we would get more stock than New Zealand, just because of how much bigger the country is and distribution and stores that we have options with. I know New Zealand doesn't have as many options for big retail. I know they have Kmart. I don't think they have Big W. Not sure about Target, but that's interesting as well that New Zealand gets the same as Australia, which is very alarming. That's really quite alarming. So that one's also a great perspective to look at for someone so close to Australia, but in a separate country still. So next comment we're going to take a look at is from Kukak, and he's from the Czech Republic, and he's saying that pretty bad there as well. The 2 biggest chains there no longer sell Thomas, and the third one only has options online. It's quite alarming. And then the best option is a chain of newspaper stores, which is interesting, maybe like a newsagent here in Australia. They sell a decent amount of All Engines Go push along tender engines and no tank engines. Wow. Very surprising. Then there's an online store, which is understandable because I imagine that's probably they're distributing it from other countries. But yeah, so that's right. In Europe, and that's disappointing to hear as well. And Big problems, as you can see. We're sort of moving along with big problems here, and other countries are sort of getting wrecked as well with their Thomas selection. This is another one that sort of was agreeing with what I was saying in the video. This is from it's_MJJJ. They're saying that they should just import the Japanese Tomy line, which is what I said that they should to Australia. It would be flying off shelves, even if it didn't make it to the big retailers, the Kmart's, the Big W, the Targets. If it made it to like a hobby shop like the one I went to on the weekend, if it made it to one of those places, or if it went to like there's Hobby Co's, which are sort of a chained hobby shop in Australia, not everywhere, but in the bigger cities they normally are. I'm just surprised that they haven't bought that. Like they have had All Engines go before. I've seen it there before, but obviously they don't sell anymore because it didn't sell. So I'm just very surprised by that. And then he dreams of Learning Curve, and that those great companies taking back their license too. Learning Curve was awesome. Wooden railway, best wooden railway that they've ever done. Really, it's hard to disagree with that. Here's one as well from the UK, which is great. Different country we haven't looked at yet. Greenie Creations. They've stated that the Thomas stock's gotten a lot worse over the last few years. Can't disagree with that, of course. And the nearest Smith's Toys, which is the big toy retailer in the UK, like toy shop, I've looked at that over the years. They've got a lot of stock on their online website, from what I've seen. Not of Thomas, more of Lego, but Thomas used to have a really huge amount from photos I've seen in the past. And then what they said was when they were last there in December, there was only one main shelf for Thomas compared to 2021 when there was 3 shelves full. That's the exact same thing I noticed. 3 years, there's been a lot of change. 3.5 years now, been a lot of change. And Thomas's popularity has absolutely plummeted from the looks of it, which is horrifyingly disappointing. Now, all I see is Trackmaster and Push Along dominating the shelves, yet. And then they've noticed there's no Thomas Wooden Railway in the UK that they've seen in stores. There's online shops that have them, such as Totally Thomas or Thomas to You. I've looked at both those sites before. I think I might have bought from Totally Thomas in the past, something in particular, which isn't bad, but they'd rather walk into a shop and browse. 100% agree with that. I would love that too, to see that in stores. 100% can't disagree with that at all. That's spot on, and I think a lot of you would agree the same. We'll go over a couple more, not to keep this video dragging on too long. I've got one here from Steam Engines United 3456. Now, what they've said is hopefully distribution will improve for the 80th anniversary, which is funnily enough this year. I can't believe the 75th was 5 years ago. That's insane. The 80th anniversary is this year, and yes, I definitely believe and hope that it will be improved for the year. However, what I really think will happen, and usually it's in Japan where distribution is better, they'll bring out Play-Rail Thomas commemorative products. The previous ones have been absolutely awesome. I think I've got most of the Play-Rail Thomas anniversary products from the last 20 years. So there's only been four in that time. I believe that's what will happen. There won't probably be a lot in, say, our countries, Australia, US, UK, the bigger sort of markets in the world. I don't think that will sort of occur because they'll only bring out All Engines Go. We won't see Play-Rail. We won't see anything from Old School Thomas. But who knows? Hopefully that happens. Really do. The last comment we'll go over is from my boy Uso James. He said it's been 6 months. Yeah, I'm really sorry about that time elapsed. The time goes way too fast. It's insane. On the subject of the video, though, they recently went to 3 Targets, and they're in the US. So 3 Targets on Thursday. Not one had Thomas, and that was the main retailer. Target's massive business in the US, not like it is in Australia nowadays. Not that I'm complaining, less All Engines Go, the better, but that means it's failing. Yes, and that's a big concern. And that's what we'll wrap up this video with. That's a big concern for Thomas as a franchise, that we're sort of nearing maybe the end. And I don't really know what they do to revive it in this era of social media dominance and kids more and more going online, not watching television programs like that we used to have to sit down and watch on TV because there was no computers, there was no mobile phones to play with, no smartphones. It's changing. The world's changing. Thomas hasn't yet figured that out. And All Engines Go, really good TikTok sort of fast style content, but it doesn't. It looks like rubbish, to be honest. And I've tried to sit down for 5 minutes to watch one sort of, I don't know, live stream they were doing on their All Engines Go YouTube like a year ago, and it was just, and it's not for me, of course. I understand kids love it. Maybe kids love it, but obviously kids are also speaking where they don't enjoy it as much as other kids' programs, which is concerning for Thomas. And hopefully they come up with something. I don't know what it would be to keep up with the other television programs that are out for kids now. I honestly don't even know what half of the television programs for kids is now. I know they had Paw Patrol and PJ Masks and CoComelon. I don't really know any more than those, to be honest. So it's a big change. It's a big thing for the Thomas, whoever runs the Thomas company. I know they work with Fisher Price and Martell and whatnot, but whoever runs the back end of everything now, and we're in for a little bit of a ride here to see what happens. But 80th anniversary is this year, so hopefully something cool happens. Hopefully they do something surprising. I'll be on a lookout for the Play-Rail motorized engines from Japan. Hopefully they're good, but I can't guarantee that. It might only be All Engines Go, because I did see that Play-Rail's branched into that now, which is disappointing. Oh well, it is what it is. I'm an adult. It's not for me. I'm just nostalgic. That's all it is. So we'll wrap this up here. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think of Thomas. What's going to be the future of Thomas? Let me know. We'll go through everything, maybe at a later date, and see what you guys thought, because it's great. I really loved the back and forth in these comments to see perspectives from people from other countries. That's fantastic. I honestly thought it was maybe only an Australia issue. Don't know. That's all good, guys. All the best. Have a great rest of your day, and leave a like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye-bye.